All right, let's get right into it today. We're going to talk about a mindset that honestly might be the single biggest thing holding you back. We're going to dive into why that instinct to find everything for free might actually be the most expensive habit you have.
So let's just start with this question right here. Think about it. I'll just Google it. We've all said it, we've all done it. A problem comes up, and that's our go-to move. But what if that simple little phrase is actually a trap? What if it's the very thing keeping you stuck in a cycle of endless searching instead of actually doing?
Before you can build anything new, you've got to clear the ground. And that means we have to get real about the two biggest excuses that stop people dead in their tracks. These are those sneaky thoughts that sound so logical on the surface, but are secretly sabotaging your progress.
Okay, excuse number one is always about the price. Oh, it's too expensive, or I'll do it when I have the money. But here's the truth, and this is a game changer. The price tag? It's rarely the real issue. The real variable here is the person. It's you.
And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. An action taker is going to take action. Period. It doesn't matter if it's $7 or 25 grand. They move because they see the value on the other side. Now the hesitator? They're going to poke holes in it, ask a million questions, and delay, even if the offer is literally free. So you see, the issue isn't the cost. It's that deeper mindset, that fear of making someone else rich, instead of seeing it as fuel for your own fire. So that's the money excuse. Now let's tackle the other big one. And man, this one is everywhere. It's the Google fallacy. It's that classic line, why would I pay for that when I can just find it for free? But that thinking has a huge, huge flaw. And this quote right here, this just hits the nail on the head. Google is amazing. It's fantastic for finding a specific, isolated answer. But a pile of answers is not a plan. It's not a system, and it is absolutely not a strategy that's going to get you from A to Z.
So here's the bottom line. Yeah, you could probably piece it all together from Google, but we're talking about years, potentially, of trial and error, going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. A blueprint, on the other hand, gives you a proven, structured system. It's designed to give you clarity and fast. It's the difference between trying to solve a 1,000-piece puzzle with no picture on the box versus having the final image right there in front of you.
So this brings us to a super important question. If you aren't paying with your money, what are you paying with? Because let me tell you, nothing is truly free. All that time you spend Googling, trying to connect the dots, it comes at a very real cost.
Let's just do some quick math. Let's say your time is worth a really conservative $20 an hour. If you spend 80 hours in 1 month researching, and that's just a couple hours a night, you've just spent $1,600 of your time. That's a massive opportunity cost. That's time you could have been building, earning, or just spending with your family.
But really, it's not even about the money. The ultimate hidden cost of free is the one thing you can never, ever get back, and that's your time. You can always go out and make more money, but you can't get back the years you lost spinning your wheels. That's a price that is way too high to pay.
Okay, so we've torn down the excuses. We see the problem. So what's the solution? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in how you think. It's about adopting what we call the planter's mindset. I mean, it's such a perfect analogy, isn't it? A farmer doesn't just hope for a harvest. They know they have to prepare the soil, they have to plant a seed, and they have to nurture it. It's a natural process of investment to get a return. Our own growth works the exact same way. And we can break this whole thing down into 3 really simple steps. First, you plant the seed. That's your investment, your money, and your time. Second, you clear the ground. And this is so important. You have to get rid of those old, junky mindsets we talked about. It's like moving into a new apartment. You clean it before you put your new stuff in, right? And third, you have to let it grow. You got to trust the process you invested in. Stop digging up the seed every 5 minutes to see if it's working. You'll kill it. But planting that seed, that's really just the beginning. If you want to build something that lasts, something that can handle a few storms, you need a strong foundation. That seed has to grow some deep, deep roots. And this slide forces you to ask a really honest question. Are you building a bush or are you building a tree? A bush, yeah, it might pop up fast, but its roots are shallow. The first real storm comes along and it's gone. A massive tree, though, it can handle anything the world throws at it because it has an incredible root system holding it down. This is why this saying is just so powerful. The height of your success, the part everyone sees, is directly proportional to the depth of your foundation, the part nobody sees. If you want to build something that scrapes the sky, you better be prepared to dig an equally deep foundation of learning and investment.
And listen, this isn't a one-and-done deal. As a tree grows taller, its roots are constantly pushing deeper to support that new growth. Your first investment? That's just getting the seed in the ground. Every upgrade, every new course, every bit of continued investment, that's you actively digging your roots deeper so you can handle bigger goals and, yes, bigger storms.
So let's bring this all home. How do you actually put this to work? It's simple. First, stop using price as your go-to excuse. Check your own mindset first. Second, start looking at learning as an investment in yourself, not just another expense. And finally, seek out structured blueprints that give you clarity, not scattered Google answers that just create more confusion.
And hey, if getting that clarity fast sounds good to you, then here's your clear next step. There's a live training happening today at 2 p.m. Eastern called The Gold Mine Hiding in Plain Sight, and it's all about showing you a model that works without you having to build it all from scratch.
And this isn't just talk. This is a real system with real results. In the 24 hours just before this was recorded, look at that number. 748 commissions were paid out to people using this exact system. That's 748 people who planted a seed and are now seeing the results. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. You're already investing your time every single day. That's a fact. The only question you have to answer is this. Are you using that time to plant a seed in good soil, something that's actually going to grow, or are you just out there digging aimlessly in the dirt? The choice is always yours.
Yeah, hustle bear in the building. Adrenaline truth, this that run up the hill grind. Pressure make diamonds, I've been cutting through the steel line. Dreams don't chase you, better get it while the will grind. Legacy's a blueprint I've been building on the real time. If fear's in the room, I'm the one to make it go quick. Faith in my chest, watch me load it like a full clip. Haters catch the wave or get washed in emotion. Action over doubt, that's the hustle bear doctrine. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Ay, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed. I woke up with a mission like the rent due on my oxygen. Purpose in my pocket, every loss became a document. I'm calibrated differently, my hustle got a doctorate. Turn my fears to employees, got them working on my confidence. Life hit me with storms, but I learned how to monetize the rain. Pain became a passport, now I travel through the strain. People love excuses, cause excuses never change. But action pay the bills, that's the truth inside the game. Had to cut some ties, their weight don't climb. If your circle ain't moving, then you running out of time. I ain't waiting on a sign, I was born to be a beacon. Hunger ain't a mindset, it's a language I speak in. Every day is overtime, I ain't got no halftime. Walking with a lion heart, built it from the bad times. Legacy's a contract, God signed the bottom, now I hustle like the devil. Never wanted me to blossom, I done fought my own shadows. Had to box with my doubts, took the quiet route to freedom. Now my voice too loud. You can measure a man's truth by the storms he survives. I took every closed door as a gem for my mind. Pressure got a flavor, I've been learning how to taste it. Fear is just a wire that your courage gotta break with. This grind ain't pretty, it's sweat, grit, pavement. But comfort is a prison and dreams don't do arrangements. I came from the trenches of excuses and delay. Now discipline the engine, keep me pushing through the day. I ain't working for the moment, I'm investing in a name. When your legacy the mission, every step becomes a flame. People talk potential like it's somehow gonna save them, but potential's just a debt, action's how you gotta pay it. Success ain't in the future, it's a choice in the now. And if you waiting on approval, you ain't ready for the crown. I've been running through the pain like a treadmill on fire. See the ashes of my doubts, that's the proof I'm getting higher. Every no became a hammer, built a kingdom out of trials. Faith drove the steering wheel while I hustle held the tires. Ain't no elevator up, just the stairs of of intention. Gotta climb with conviction. Every step is a lesson. The grind is a mirror. What you see is a reflection. If you lazy with your actions, you gon' struggle with direction. Had nights where I cried, but the tears paid dues. Had fights with my pride, but the growth came through. Every scar got a purpose, every bruise got a clue. If you scared of the fall, you ain't ready for the view. I'm a soldier for the dream, that's the oath that I keep. Motivation ain't a moment, it's a promise you repeat. If you walking with excuses, you ain't walking with me. And if you want another level, you should hustle like a beast. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Hey, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed.
I hope your favorite show always skips right at the best part, like it owes you money.
Okay, family, I'm back at it again, and I'm right here in my movie studio. Yes, I called it my movie studio. And that's because I have access to be able to create anything I can imagine. It's all up to my creativity as to what comes out on any given day. But behind me, you see exactly what I mean. This is my movie studio. I can make short series, or I can actually create long form videos with this one particular tool that I use on a daily basis. Now, if you're interested in learning exactly how you can have a fun and profitable online business, I want you to comment hustle, and I'm gonna send you access to an exclusive training that I'm going to provide to you so that you can get an idea of what is possible. I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside.
On January 1st, the world will experience something unlike anything. It is the day the Hustleverse officially makes it its debut. Welcome to the Hustleverse will be the first installment of the greatest collection of edutainment music to ever be created for the Hustleverse, and your first opportunity to get access to a movement designed to inspire, motivate, and fuel real hustlers. 2026 album of the year has arrived, and this is just the beginning.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And I was having a little bit of technical difficulties. It seems like, these things happen on a regular basis nowadays. But we push through. We we kind of start to kind of welcome the technical difficulties, right? Because it seems like something has to go wrong. Something, it has to be that yin and yang factor. But once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge. Today is strong 38, day 4, and we are right at 16 minutes into today's challenge. So, let's start to peel back the curtain. And once again, like I was saying about technical issues. So, as that last intro video was playing, I used 2 monitors, right? So when you see me look off like this, I'm looking at my second monitor, which is actually a big screen TV, a 55-inch TV. But on a regular laptop, as I'm looking directly at the camera now, right, from the laptop, that whole screen went black. So it went black. I'm watching on the big screen the video that's playing, and I noticed that it's black, right? So I'm shaking the mouse, I'm wiggling it around, trying to get the screen to wake up or, you know, get unstuck. And the video ended and it was still stuck. So I'm fumbling and jumbling, and then it pops up. And then I said, okay, we ready to go. We're not ruined. This isn't going to be something where I'm going to have to restart, you know, replant the seed, so to speak, right? So if you heard the intro video, that intro training, you talked about planting the seed. And a lot of times, you plant a seed and bad weather happens or something happens to disturb that seed so that it doesn't grow, that it doesn't go into, you know, digging deeper so that it can grow up wide, right? Big and strong, right? So there's situations that happen like that all the time. And sometimes they can be technical. They can be technical situations, right? That stop that initial seed from, being cemented in the ground so that it can do what it's supposed to do. But we move past that. We move forward, and often we find a rainbow at the end of those situations. We have a light bulb moment that we can actually give, because every experience is just that. It's an experience. It's something to go through and something to learn from. Hopefully you guys learn something with that. When things go dark, you still hold it together and you replant the seed and you keep it moving. Make sure you pat that seed down, right? Pat it down in the ground to make sure that, whatever wind blows doesn't have the opportunity to, you know, knock that seed up out of the ground. You do whatever it is that you possibly can to secure it so that it can do what it's supposed to do, right? So that was one thing. And then before that, I actually noticed that once again, Facebook is doing what Facebook does. It's not posting the live in the private group. So I'm going around, I'm looking at stuff, and I'm thankful for the fact that we have an intro, right? The intro itself, I was focused trying to listen to it, getting inspired and motivated, as I hope you guys get inspired and motivated by the intro. But I have to get the link to the live, and then I actually, posted it in the private group so that, it starts to show. It starts to, that seed, the seed of, actually, seeing the live and being able to share the information. So I was able to get that done. And, I'm a little petty. When things happen like that, I think to myself, man, I know these people is probably thinking, oh, he fell off. He fell off. He's not consistent. That, oh, he's not going to show up. And, that gets in my mind, and I say to myself, man, they gotta be, they must have forgot who I was. Now, I can't say that I'm gonna be 100% every single time. It might be some days that I can't show up. It might be some times that, I have to say, hey, I can't go live. But so far, we've been lucky enough. Things have gone our way in such a way that, those situations have not occurred. 38 strong weeks we have been going consistently. Might have started a couple of minutes later, might have had a technical hiccup where, I have to reshare the live after the fact, but I've always shown up. I've always been here to plant the seed necessary in order to get my community going. Now, once again, whether or not the community shows up as a whole, that's not on me. It's kind of like the weather. Today is a pretty nice looking day outside. The sun looks like it's out. It's shining. I'm watching and hearing the cars go by. So this is the one day so far within the last week or so that the sun has actually come out and it looks like it's a nice day. So that's a good thing. So you get that one bright spot. Sometimes in your online business, it's going to take a few days of, not seeing any progress, not seeing any growth in your business, not seeing people show up, not seeing people like, comment, or share. But then it comes to a point where you get that one shiny day. And you can celebrate that one shiny day once when it occurs, stare at it, look outside and say, hey, man, the sun is out. Enjoy it. Maybe after I do this live, I'm going to go sit outside. It's not too cold, but, put on a jacket and everything, go sit outside, listen to, the album of the year for 2026, the Welcome to the Hustleverse album, and, just enjoy the weather, enjoy the lifestyle that I've been able to create. Watching the traffic go by, watching people go off to wherever they have to go off to, or some people they're traveling to go to places that they want to. So it's always a want to and a got to type of situation out there. So speaking of the album of the year, the Welcome to the Hustleverse album, right? I'm not going to keep you guys too long today because we know that today is Thursday. It's Action Taking Thursday. I want to talk to you guys about some actions that you can take. And as a matter of fact, we know that there's going to be a live training today. So I don't want to drain you so much today with the live because I don't want you to have any excuses. I don't want you to say, hey, well, I already planted the seed with you. I already put some seed in the ground and, you know, that's all I got. I can't show up. So I'm not going to hold you too long. But what I want to give you today is something that you can actually take action on. Something else that, you know, I want to share with you. And this right here, this is a very special document. Might I say it's the second most valuable document in all of online marketing. This is the Welcome to the Hustleverse Edutainment Bundle doc. Now, I'm going to make a couple of tweaks to it just to make it a little bit better. Just to make it a little bit better because I have the ability to do that. Not only am I the person that can talk a good talk, but I'm a person that can actually create and provide the value within itself, right? I can do the work. So with this bundle right here, I just want to give you a little small overview. So as it says here, the tracks for hustlers. Now, that right there alone, that might attract some people and that might deter some people. Because once again, I know when it comes to etymology and words and wordplay, some people have certain ideas about certain words. So if certain words, are attractive to you, then you'll want to listen more. If certain words are not attractive to you, if it turns you off, then this is not the place for you. I'm a real hustler. And when I say that, once again, I don't mean in a negative way. I don't mean in any type of criminal activity or anything that you might think of when you hear that word. I say it in the most positive, inspiring way because some of the most successful people in the world, period, they are hustlers. They are people that's willing to go out, do the work, put in the work no matter what, find a way, do what's necessary by any means necessary legally, right, to get the job done. So I have a couple of things with this document, a little intro. And the one thing that, I always pride myself on, and I tell you guys, I don't like to be average. I've seen so many people online that, they have their lead magnets, so to speak, right? Where they tell you, hey, go here and get access to this document. And the document is just, a bunch of words, a bunch of sayings, a bunch of things that, is designed to inspire and motivate you, or a bunch of things that's designed to lead you to just having more and more questions. Is designed to make you wonder, okay, can I really do this? Or what else is it that they have to offer? Now, we want to inspire you and we want you to have that feeling of what else does he have to offer. But I want you to get a good idea, first and foremost, of what I have to offer. I want to show you better than I can tell you. I want to let the work speak for itself rather than just the words. A lot of people online, they post and they share information, and I look through the comment section and I see people saying, well, I still didn't learn anything. They didn't teach me anything. You didn't say anything. You didn't tell me anything. And I understand their pain. I feel their pain to an extent. I know that a lot of things is psychological when it comes to this industry or building a business online. It's not as cut and dry as here's a tool, this is how you use the tool, and that's it. It's not a step by step situation where you're just teaching somebody how to use a tool and that's going to make them successful. It's a lot of different things behind it. It's kind of like a play or a TV show or a movie. You see the end results and you're watching it, but you're not there during the times of the choreography while they're practicing and they're going through their lines and they're, going through their pacing and everything like that. That's the main part of the business. The going through the pacing, the months and months and months. In some cases, your big blockbuster movies is the years of putting in the work, saying the lines over and over and over again, saying it in this tone rather than that tone, walking a certain way, looking a certain way. Now, once when they perfect that, then they have a movie or whatever it is that's worthy of being shown. But a lot of times it's the people that, the other actors or actresses that go out, they see the movie and they're able to better appreciate what actually went on behind the scenes in order to create it. And they see deeper into what the movie is showing. They see that actor who they might know in person and they say, wow, they really did a great job. I know that they probably was struggling with their lines. I know them personally. They, you know, that's not really their character. They're not that hardcore type of person. They're more of a fun-loving type of person. So I know they had to really dig deep in order to get into the character to make that character believable. Now, those people are able to see the real truth and the real greatness behind the actual film. And that's what you have to be able to see when you're doing your online business. When you're watching the online training or you're watching any video, you have to see deeper than the final production. You have to look and be able to see and understand what it could have taken in order to get to that point. Because what it took for them to get to the point, them planting the seed, them, watering the seed every day, the way they rake the dirt over the seeds, the way they tilled the garden, the way they did all of those things. That's the important part. That's the thing that you need to learn how to recreate, so that once when you get your own opportunity to grow your own garden, to hopefully grow a tree instead of a bush, then you know exactly what you need to do. So this document right here is designed to give you a lot of great things. Is what I call my edutainment bundle for a reason. It's here to educate you, and it's here to entertain you or inspire you also. So it says right here, from struggle to strategy, you don't need another course. You need a battle anthem. A lot of people just need that motivation. They need that inspiration. First thing that just popped up into my mind is the theme of Rocky. When you hear Rocky, when you're watching the movie and you know Rocky just got beat up and he has to come back from it, they start playing that music, that anthem, that theme song. And watching the movie, it's like you can kind of feel like Rocky himself, he hears the music playing. Even though the music is in the background of the movie, it feels like Rocky can hear the music himself as he's going through the motions. He's training. He's getting stronger. He's running up the steps. And you can see he has a bounce to him. It's like he's listening to music in his head. He's jumping up. He's climbing up the steps in Philly. He's, celebrating. And you can look at him and it looks like he's listening to something. Something is playing back in his mind. Well, that's that inspiration. That's that motivation. And that's what I want you to have, because a lot of times it's going to take more than you just saying to yourself, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get up. Sometimes you need something to push you, to get you up. One of my previous, business opportunities or opportunities to make money, I wouldn't call it a job because I was an independent contractor. I did courier work for FedEx, but it was through an independent company and I had to actually use my own vehicle. So I used my Honda Odyssey to go pick up packages from one location and then drive to a whole other town to deliver door to door. Had my manifest sheet. I was hoping that, had my cell phone, hoping that the signal was good so that the navigation helped me get to every place that I needed to get to. But the journey getting to that location in Hampton, Virginia, from Richmond, Virginia, that was a 92-mile everyday trip just to get to the pickup spot. So 92 miles. That took about an hour and 45 minutes to get there each day. But I did it. I drove it. And I had to have something that got me going. I wasn't just driving and riding in silence. That would have been the most boringest ride, and especially getting up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, so that I could get ready and be there by 8 in the morning to pick up the load, so that I'm not wasting all of the day. Because once when I picked up the load from the pickup spot, I still had to turn back around and drive to the delivery area, which might have been another 45 minutes to an hour away. So I had to get to the location in order to start delivering. And depending on how many stops, hey, you running. So one of the things that I've learned, and one of the things that I've been so appreciative for, is music. Music has been something that's inspired me and motivated me all throughout my life, and it's been something that's helped fuel my journeys. So of course, it's only right, it's only fitting that I incorporate that into my online business, because I understand how it has fueled me and helped me to make it from one stop to another, help me wake up in the morning, get in the car, stay awake and not fall asleep on the road on an hour and 45-minute ride, and then still once when you're done, you got to drive from that location back home and then turn around and do it again the next day. So I've gone through certain situations so that hopefully you don't have to go through those situations. I've planted those seeds and I've seen how those seeds have been effective and how they've grown into something that, is strong enough to withstand winds and all kinds of things, snow. I delivered in the pouring rain. I delivered in the snow. So it was two business or work related opportunities that I had to do deliveries door to door. So the independent courier one was the last one that I had to physically be out there going door to door, rain, sleet, hail, or snow. And I needed something to get me going and keep me going. And I couldn't have made it happen without the music. So that's something that I want to be able to provide to you guys. So it says here, the Hustleberry edutainment bundle is more than beats and bars. It's a mirror and a map for every hustler grinding in silence. So we know one of our heroes, so to speak, in our business, Miss Hustleberry. She has an album. She has an amazing album, which I consider to be the album of the year for 2025. Hustle, Tears, and Analytics, right? That's the name of the album. It provides raw lyrics that speak to your real doubts and ambitions. Strategic gems hidden inside the verses. Motivation that doesn't just hype you up, it builds you up. Now, when was the last time you listened to some music that did that for you? More than likely, you don't even look for music that does that for you. You look for music that probably does just the opposite. That talks down to you, that talks down to other people, that's not built or created to inspire or motivate. That could be your daily driver. That could be the thing that's keeping you from actually moving to the next level in your life, to a higher level, to a more inspired and positive level. A lot of people they listen to certain types of music that might not be positively backed, and they in their conscious mind they feel like they enjoy it, they like it, they bounce into it, they singing and rapping every lyric of the song, but internally it's saying something to them. Those words are saying something to them. It's painting the picture in their mind, in their heart, and in their soul, and you know it's painting visions that maybe they're not even conscious of. Somebody's talking about doing some crime. Somebody's talking about doing this, that, and the third, something negative, and your mind starts to play that over and over, and you start to look for those situations in real life. You start to think to yourself, well, hey, there's nothing good in the world because that song, blah blah blah, said this, that, and the third. This makes me think of that, and you never look for the positive light at the end of the tunnel. But this right here is different. This is designed to give you a better vision. This is that sunny day in the midst of all of those cloudy days, all the other stuff that you get, bombarded with. Now it says here, if you're done chasing shortcuts and ready to sharpen your sword, click that play button and let's go. So this is designed to motivate and inspire you. We have our hero, Miss Hustleberry, right here. She's on a city street. When I look at it, I wouldn't even say this is a New York City street. I'm from New York, but I wouldn't even say this is a New York City street. When I look at this right here, it looks more like like Richmond to me. I'm gonna say this is a Richmond street right here. I'm looking at the buildings. They don't have as many big buildings in Richmond as they do in New York, right? But this right here looks like Broad Street in Richmond to me when I just looked at it. So she's walking down that street. She's from New York, though. She's from New York. But here's another picture, and it has the track listing to the album, Hustle, Tears, and Analytics. And you can get access to that once when you decide to take action on this action taken Thursday, right? So the way you take action and get access to this amazing album, which the link is right here, you get to listen to it. You know how to get access to it because it's right here. Once when you get access to your profit center, what we call the mega link, there's going to be a bonus section. There's going to be a bonus section in the back office where you're going to actually be able to click the link and get access to the Welcome to the Hustleverse Edutainment Bundle. Now, Hustleberry's album is going to be the first one that you see. And then below that, you're going to get access to the album of the year for 2026, which is the Welcome to the Hustleverse album, what we just released in January of 2026. So depending on when you're watching this, I like to make things kind of evergreen as much as possible. But even if it's 2027 at this point or 2028, this right here is still valuable. This is your foundational seeds that's going to help you build a strong business. And you get access to that amazing album. And you'll also get a bonus on bonus. So I have an exclusive training that I want to provide to you guys that's going to help you build your business. Because, of course, this is all geared up towards helping you move forward in your online business. And I want to provide something that nobody else is going to provide to you. I want to provide some of the missing education that I don't see anybody else providing. The different angle in which I don't see anybody else teaching. So I'm going to give you that perspective within this document. So I'm not going to scroll any farther, right? But what I am going to do, just to wrap up today's live, we're going to go back to our profit center. We're going to click on that dashboard, which you should have access to. Once when you actually take action, you'll be able to see that in an hour and 16 minutes, we have our live coming up. And as of right now, when you look over top, you see it says 102 commissions have been paid to members in the last 24 hours. And that usually ticks up after a live. It goes up a lot after a live because a group of people, they decided to take action, watch the information, and implement the information, and that yields results. So, as usual, we want to hit that promote button so that we can dive deeper into getting a better understanding of what to expect. So, the webinar title is They Saw It First. Now it's your turn. I have a good idea of what that might mean, right? So, let's go into our training materials and learn exactly what that could be alluding to. So it says here, something happened at the live event that changed everything. Now, if you don't know, recently there was a live event within this amazing organization. It was a few days ago, and it was in the United Kingdom. So the people that attended that live, they got to meet in person. They got to hear some exclusive information. They got to physically be there to see the seed, so to speak, itself. The seed needed to be planted, and they got to get that firsthand information so that they could, be inspired, motivated, and, they could get a little bit more detail as to how to plant that seed and how to turn it into a tree instead of a bush, right? So we pulled back the curtain on the brand new OLSP website, the full rebrand, the new tools, the new structure, everything in front of a room full of students. And the reaction caught even me off guard. People weren't just notice People weren't just nodding along. They were grabbing their phones, messaging their teams, asking how to lock in before anyone else saw it. So this is the power of events. Being in a room full of people that, have the same goals in mind, everybody, it's a different energy. It's different from being having to see somebody on a video post, or even like a live right now. You see me from the neck up, but seeing me live in person is a whole other story, right? Just like anybody. It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different energy to be able to stand there next to a person and shake their hand or give them a hug, just to feel their presence and their energy and to actually hear the message. So that right there is powerful. Being able to be in that environment inspires and motivates people. So you need to be able to put yourself in as close proximity of success as possible so that you can get those type of feelings also. So it says here that the new site hasn't launched yet. What they saw was the first look at what's coming, and it's coming soon. So once again, the new site, all of the things that I was able to witness, all of the things that, I know is coming, is going to blow you away. It's going to be something that I know is not available in 99% of online marketing opportunities. I have to be honest. What I saw was something that I haven't seen before. It took a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of creativity, and it's designed to help you have the easiest path to success possible. But you have to be a part of this opportunity. You have to be part of this opportunity in order to experience what we have to offer. And you have to invest in the seed itself. You can't plant something that you haven't, that you don't own, that you haven't purchased. You can't pick the fruit off of your tree. You can't reap the rewards and the benefits of what you've grown if you didn't first start off by purchasing the seed, right? If you ain't gonna go around just stealing seed, s- whole other, that's a whole topic of discussion. You have to pay. You have to be willing to invest in yourself, in your opportunity. And those people that avoid that will be the ones that have the hardest time. So it says on Thursday, I'm giving you the same walkthrough the live event crowd got. So you get lucky. You couldn't make it to the UK. You didn't have the funds. It costs a lot to take a plane trip, depending on where you're coming from, a hotel stay, all the other preparation that it takes to get into, traveling and doing these things. How much money are you going to save today by just joining a simple live, just clicking a button on your laptop, being able to experience something that cost that my business partner, Mr. Wayne Crow, he had to invest a lot of money into putting on the event. So he invested a lot of money to be able to plant the seed and be able to share this vision and this opportunity. And you have to respect that. And now you get the opportunity to learn what the crowd there learned. They invested their time, energy, and money into learning, and that's why they were able to get firsthand knowledge. They got a jump on you. They got to get the information before anybody else. And that's how it's supposed to be. You move an inch towards me, I move 2 inches towards you. You plant the seed, you know, I make it rain. That's how life and things go. You plant the seed, I make it rain. I make it rain, you make sure that the seeds stay in the ground. And that's how everything works. That's how, you know, nature The cycle of life, everything goes. So it says here that you'll see what's inside the new site, how the execution path works, how the AI assisted tools handle the daily friction most affiliates struggle with, and you'll understand why the people in that room were scrambling to get in position. Once when you are exposed to a new way, a better way, there's no going back from that. That should excite you. That should get you motivated and going because few people, it wasn't a big convention. It wasn't a huge event where thousands and thousands of people got the opportunity to see this. This was a room that was full of possibly less than 50 people. Less than 50 people got to actually see this. And that's what it means to be part of an exclusive opportunity where, you really understand and know that you're part of something that a few people will ever experience. That right there is something to be proud of. Next part. There's an early bird window open right now for people who want to lock in before the site officially goes live. The people at the event already moved. Thursday is your chance to see what they saw and get in at the same level before the doors open to everyone. So ground floor stuff. So if you're a farmer and you're a planner, right? And somebody give you the seeds before they actually, sell the seeds in the store and give it to everybody else now. You can start you start going to work in your garden, right? You start planting the seeds. You already got a head start. Your seed is in the ground. You done tilled everything, everything is in place. Now you just waiting for the rain to come, right? Or you're not even waiting for the rain to come. You going in the house and you going to get you got your tools, right? You get your water and you start to, water your garden. And then in the next couple of weeks, everybody else, they get the opportunity to get those seeds so that they're behind. Their process is going to be, a little delayed. So now when everything comes up, yours should be the first ones to come up. Your garden, your harvest should be the first one to kick in. Now, when it's time to present the harvest to the market, everything is ready on your end, right? Who going to sell the most? Who going to sell the most? Who's going to do the most and be the most successful? The ones that, their harvest came in 2 weeks, 3 weeks before everybody else's. So now they get to put their stuff in the store first. Boom, people come, they start, buying products and services from that person. And then when those other people come in a couple of weeks later, yeah, they might get some sales, but at that point, the one that was there first, people already know who they are at this point, and they have a specific feeling about them now. They like, okay, the fruits, the vegetables, the tools, the knowledge, everything that I got from that person on that first week, I liked it. I'm gonna keep coming back to them. Not only am I gonna keep coming back to them, but I'm gonna tell other people about them. Yeah, these other stores popped up, but I don't know what theirs tastes like. I don't know if they have the same type of fruits and vegetables or whatever. I don't know if their garden is the same, but I know what this garden looks like, what are the harvests that they were able to produce, and I like it. So I'm gonna tell people, hey, even though that new one just popped up, go over here. Go over here. This is where I know you're gonna get some good stuff. And that's how you're supposed to build a business. When you have the opportunity to get first movers advantage, as they call it, you take that opportunity and you make the best of it. You don't just sit on it. You see the information and then you take action on it. So, where did I leave off at? So, right here, Thursday is your last chance to see what they saw and get in at the same level before the doors open to everyone. That's very powerful. That window won't stay open once the site launches. More on that in the live session. So you need to be there today in about another hour. another hour and 3 minutes. I hope to see you guys there. We're going to close out the same way we always do. We're going to water our garden so that you know that, hey, we're in a place of providing consistency. We do what's necessary. We do it on a daily basis and we show up. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you get access to your mega link, which gives you access to your profit center, which puts you in position so that you can be there to watch the live webinar today and you can get those foundational seeds that you need to build your business. So with that, have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane, but I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night, scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day sounded small at first, but in silence even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink, mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal pin, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted, but now my bars turn pain into coded. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain, cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math.